Paul Haggis, a name synonymous with cinematic brilliance, boasts a career adorned with Oscars and accolades. Born in 1953, his journey began in London, Ontario, far from Hollywood's glittering lights. From television to film, Haggis's talent shone through, captivating audiences with raw, emotionally resonant narratives. His work on projects like $1 Million Baby and Crash earned him critical acclaim, establishing him as a force in the industry. Little did he know, the same boldness would later lead him to challenge a powerful and controversial organization, the Church of Scientology. Haggis's foray into Scientology began in the late 1970s, a time of personal and professional exploration. Drawn by the promise of self-improvement and spiritual enlightenment, he embarked on a journey that would profoundly impact his life. Scientology offered a sense of community and purpose, resonating with Haggis's values. As he delved deeper, he rose through its ranks, becoming a dedicated member and advocate. His involvement coincided with his ascent in Hollywood, crediting Scientology with sharpening his focus and enhancing his creativity. Unaware of the tumultuous path ahead, his commitment to Scientology deepened. The 1980s saw Haggis honing his craft, gaining recognition in television. He wrote for popular shows like The Facts of Life and 30-Something, showcasing his versatility and sharp wit. His work on L.A., Law, a legal drama tackling social issues, solidified his status as a writer, unafraid to address complex themes. Haggis's scripts were intelligent, thought-provoking, and often infused with subtle commentary. Despite his achievements, Haggis desired to tell bigger, bolder stories. He says, on the film industry. His journey in television shaped his voice and preparing him for the challenges and triumphs in cinema. In 2004, Haggis made his directorial debut with Crash, exploring racial and social tensions in Los Angeles. The film sparked controversy and dialogue with its portrayal of prejudice, fear, and redemption. Crash was a critical and commercial success, earning Haggis widespread recognition and 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. He followed Crash with $1 Million Baby, another critical and commercial triumph, earning 4 Academy Awards. Haggis had become a sought-after screenwriter and director, synonymous with quality and thought-provoking cinema. While Haggis enjoyed Hollywood success, a quiet storm brewed within him. The principles of Scientology began to clash with his evolving worldview. His work on films like Crash and $1 Million Baby forced him to confront complex social issues at odds with certain church doctrines. He questioned the church's stance on homosexuality, particularly after his 2 daughters revealed they were gay. This personal conflict deepened his disillusionment, creating a rift between his beliefs and his commitment to Scientology. The seeds of doubt had been sown, leading to a full-fledged crisis of faith. Hollywood can be a lonely and disorienting place, especially for a young man from a small Canadian town. Paul Haggis, navigating the cutthroat world of television writing in the late 1970s, found solace in the Church of Scientology. Drawn by the promise of self-improvement, Haggis found the Church's teachings resonating with his desire to become a better writer and man. Scientology offered a sense of purpose and a framework for navigating life's complexities. The Church provided a sense of community, a haven from the superficiality of the entertainment industry. For a time, it seemed like the perfect antidote to the chaos and uncertainty of his profession. As Haggis' career flourished, so did his commitment to Scientology. He climbed the ranks, becoming a dedicated member and advocate for its teachings. His success in Hollywood was often attributed to his adherence to Scientology's principles. However, beneath this devotion, seeds of doubt began to take root. The rigid doctrines of Scientology began to feel restrictive, at odds with his growing sense of empathy and compassion. The year 2008 marked a turning point for Paul Haggis. The catalyst was Proposition 8, a California ballot initiative to ban same-sex marriage. The Church of Scientology openly supported the proposition, clashing with Haggis' values of equality and justice. His two daughters, both gay, had always been a source of pride and joy. To see their rights challenged by the church was a bitter pill to swallow. The dissonance between his beliefs and the church's actions became impossible to ignore. The conflict between Haggis' beliefs and the church's stance on Proposition 8 triggered a crisis of conscience. He could no longer reconcile his love for his daughters with his loyalty to an organization that denied them their rights. This internal struggle raged within him for months, leading to disillusionment. The church's response to his concerns was met with resistance and attempts to silence him. Haggis refused to be silenced, realizing his journey had diverged sharply from Scientology's path. He could no longer remain part of an organization that prioritized dogma over compassion. Fueled by his conscience and love for his daughters, Haggis took a stand. He penned a scathing letter to the church, announcing his resignation. The letter, leaked online, quickly went viral, becoming a lightning rod for praise and criticism. Haggis condemned the church's stance on Proposition 8, calling it morally wrong and harmful. His public denouncement was a watershed moment, emboldening others to come forward with their own stories. Paul Haggis had become a symbol of courage and integrity in the face of immense pressure. Leaving Scientology was a complex and painful process for Haggis. The church, known for its aggressive tactics, did not take his departure lightly. He faced criticism, social isolation, and a smear campaign. Friends turned their backs on him, adhering to the church's policy of disconnecting from defectors. Despite the personal cost, Haggis refused to be silenced. He was determined to use his platform to expose the harmful practices of the Church of Scientology. Section 4. Retaliation and resilience. Facing the aftermath. The aftermath of Haggis' departure from Scientology was tumultuous. He faced backlash from the church, including alleged harassment and attempts to discredit him. Former Scientologists reached out, offering support and sharing their own stories. Haggis refused to be silenced. He became an advocate raising awareness about alleged abuses within Scientology. He collaborated with journalists and filmmakers, sharing his experiences. His outspokenness came at a price. He faced further attempts to silence and discredit him. But Haggis, supported by former Scientologists and advocates, refused to back down. His journey is a testament to the power of individual conscience and the courage to speak truth to power. His story reminds us that the human spirit, driven by truth and justice, can prevail. The immediate aftermath of Haggis' very public break from Scientology was turbulent, to say the least. The church, known for its tightly controlled image, and aggressive response to criticism went into damage control mode. Haggis, once a poster boy for Scientology's success, was now deemed a suppressive person, Scientology's term for an enemy of the church. This label came with serious consequences, including the mandated shunning by Scientologists still within the church. Friends, colleagues, even some family members who remained loyal to Scientology were instructed to cut off all contact with him. This disconnection policy, a controversial practice, long criticized by former Scientologists, was designed to isolate and punish those who dared to speak out against the church. Haggis found himself navigating a world where familiar faces turned cold, where long-standing relationships were severed overnight. The betrayal stung, the loneliness was palpable, but he pressed on, drawing strength from his convictions and the support of his daughters, who stood by him through it all. The media frenzy surrounding his departure was relentless. Reporters camped outside his home, eager for any morsel of insight into the inner workings of Scientology and the reasons behind his dramatic exit. Haggis, once accustomed to the spotlight for his artistic achievements, was now thrust into the unfamiliar role of whistleblower, his personal life dissected and scrutinized by the public eye. Despite the personal cost, Haggis refused to be silenced. He embraced his role as an advocate for those harmed by Scientology. His platform became a stage for exposing the dark underbelly of the organization. He shared his story with journalists, granting interviews to major news outlets, detailing his experiences and offering a glimpse into Scientology. He participated in documentaries, lending his voice to those who had suffered in silence, amplifying their stories of alleged abuse and manipulation. His activism extended beyond interviews and documentaries. He connected with other former Scientologists, offering support and resources to those declared suppressive persons. He became a vocal critic of the church's practices, calling for greater transparency and accountability. His advocacy came at a price. He faced a wave of accusations, some seemingly orchestrated attempts to discredit him. Rumors about his personal life, finances, and motivations were circulated, aimed at undermining his credibility. Haggis remained undeterred. He had weathered the storm of Scientology's wrath and was determined to shine a light on what he believed to be a harmful organization. His journey from Hollywood insider to outspoken critic was just beginning. Paul Haggis' journey from acclaimed screenwriter to outspoken critic of Scientology is a testament to the complex interplay of faith, doubt, and the courage to speak truth to power. His story is a stark reminder that even the most successful and celebrated individuals can find themselves at a crossroads, forced to choose between loyalty and conscience. His decision to leave Scientology, to break free from the confines of an organization he had once embraced wholeheartedly, came at a significant personal and professional cost. He faced social isolation, the loss of friendships, and a relentless campaign of retaliation from the church he had once championed. Yet, despite the challenges, the accusations, the attempts to silence him, Haggis remained steadfast in his convictions. He refused to be bullied into silence, choosing instead to use his platform to amplify the voices of those who had been harmed by Scientology. His legacy, once defined by his artistic achievements, has been forever altered, irrevocably intertwined with his courageous stand against the church. His story is a powerful illustration of the personal toll that speaking out against powerful institutions can exact. It underscores the importance of critical thinking, of questioning authority, and of standing up for what one believes in, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpopular. In the years since his departure from Scientology, Paul Haggis has continued to write, direct, and produce his creative spirit undimmed by the controversy that has followed him. He has remained an advocate for social justice, lending his voice to causes he believes in his commitment to speaking truth to power unwavering. While the shadow of Scientology still looms large, Haggis has found a sense of peace and purpose in his new life. He has rebuilt relationships, found solace in new friendships, and continued to pursue his artistic passions with the same fervor that first propelled him to Hollywood. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to overcome adversity and emerge stronger on the other side. It is a reminder that while the battle for truth and justice can be long and arduous, it is a fight worth fighting. Paul Haggis, the apostate who left Scientology, has redefined his legacy, embracing the role of advocate, activist, and survivor. His journey, though marked by pain and loss, is ultimately a story of courage, integrity, and the unwavering pursuit of truth.